thing that always gets me sort of piggybacking off that is like how an instrumental piece of music that has like no lyrics or no sort of context, shall we say, you know, like you're not empathizing with a story or anything. If it's just an instrumental piece of music, that can make you feel something, you know what I mean? And there's no, I mean, obviously there's probably a reason for that sort of physiologically and psychologically, but like there's no real reason why you would be able to point at a piece of music and say, that makes me feel this way because, you know what I mean? It's just a vibe, you know what I mean, for want of a better term. And that's something that's always fascinated me because you don't really get that with other things. You don't get that with like, I suppose you do a little bit, but you don't get it with like literature or like cinema.
So like one example I used quite recently talking about this is like strawberries, right? Strawberries have this like objective taste. Like everyone can taste a strawberry and be like, yeah, this is how it tastes. But someone will like fucking love strawberries, scran them all day, and someone will like not want to go near them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas music hasn't got that objective standpoint. Like no one, like someone might listen to a piece of music, like you're saying, like just an instrumental, and like, oh, that makes me feel sad. And someone can say, oh, well, that makes me feel happy. Like that's what fucking baffles me. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's almost depends what you bring to a piece of music. You know, like we spoke about on the 1975 episode.
There they are. Creeping in.
I know, yeah. All we need now is for you to mention Coldplay and we fucking, like, stereotypical bingo.
They're in there. They're on the notes.
But yeah, like, we spoke then about, obviously, my friend Kate not thinking that somebody else was upsetting in any way and actually found it quite the opposite, you know, quite a bop. Whereas I was like, you know, it hits me in the feels. So I think it's often based on your background and your experiences, which is strange because it's like that makes it infinitely subjective.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird how, like, I think if you're listening to someone else's music, I can understand how, like, it can remind you of something, and that's why, like, you know, you feel that way or whatever. But, like, if you're making a piece of music and you're putting your feelings into it, like, how can someone else be like, oh, yeah, same? Because obviously they've not gone through the same stuff that you've been through.
Do you ever feel...
Oh, no. I do not. You've been through this? I do not.
Do you ever feel a type of way about a piece of music that you've made that you sort of would about something else that someone else has made? You know what I mean?
No.
I was going to say...
I get too into it. I overthink it a lot when it's like my music or like our music.
Yeah. I think it's even just like, I don't know, maybe because it's me expelling the situation that I'm writing about, you know what I mean? I'm sort of like getting it out. That if I listen back to it, I don't resonate with it the same.
I completely agree. Like, for example, like with If Anybody Loves Me, like, I know, like, what we mean by the words, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know the exact situation we're talking about, whereas no one else does. So, like, when I listen to it back, I don't really feel anything, because I know what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the fun part, like, the mystery behind it. Like, when you write shit, I'm like, oh, fucking that's sick, that, but what does it mean? Do you know what I mean? And I feel like in that conversation, like, you'll tell it, like, not really asked about the story, where I'm like, oh my god, yes, bro. Yes, feel you.